I am recording our class today, so everybody wave, hello, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Now, I'm going to share my screen with you so that you can see American Gothic. Now, da, da, da. All right, so here is American Gothic. Do you see it? Okay, so this is the famous one. This was done by the artist named Grant Wood. So here are some silly versions. They're actually on display at the Cedar Rapids Museum of Art right now. So if you come in and visit us, you'll get to see these and a lot more. So this one is kind of a Star Wars version of American Gothic. You can see they only changed a few little things. They only changed what the farmer is holding in his hand. Instead of a pitchfork, this time it's a lightsaber. And they changed a little bit of the sky in the background, so it's not an Iowa sky, it's the stars at night. This one, they only changed one little detail. Can you see what it is? Only changed one little thing, but it definitely makes it look very different, doesn't it? Instead of the woman's face next to the farmer, it's the farmer's face again. How about this one? They only changed a little bit of the details. Mostly they just changed the background. And then on the farmer's pitchfork, they added a little detail. Do you see that little burger on his pitchfork? And instead of her pin on her collar, do you see what it is now? There's a little M for McDonald's on her collar. I thought it was kind of fun because the M for McDonald's in the background on the house, that M is a little bit like the arched window in the original painting. So I thought that was kind of a cool idea. How about this one? We have a cat and a dog, and the dog is wearing the farmer's glasses from the original painting, which I love. They didn't change the background at all. They only changed the characters in the foreground. How about this one? This is a fairly new one. Instead of standing right next to each other like the original painting, they spaced them apart because they're socially distancing because of the COVID virus. And that's why they're also wearing the masks. How about this one? We love robots, so I love this one. He's still holding a pitchfork, just like the original. And she's still wearing her apron and her pin. How about this one? I love this one, partly because I love the Muppets. Who doesn't love the Muppets? But can you see what they did with the characters? Usually the man is on the other side and the woman is on the other side, but they switched them because Miss Piggy is taller. So the original painting, the man was taller than the woman. So they put Miss Piggy on the right side because she's taller, even though she's still wearing the apron and the pin, just like the lady in the painting. But she gets to hold the pitchfork this time. How about that one? This one's very different from the original, isn't it? But you can still kind of tell it's supposed to look like American Gothic. How about a silly, silly one? Calvin and Hobbes. They were cartoon characters. And so they did this artist didn't change much of anything, just the faces. He kept the rest of it, oh, in the hand, the farmer's hand that's holding the pitchfork. but he kept the rest of it just like the original. How about this one? This one doesn't even have people in it, does it? But it's still, you can still tell it's supposed to look like American Gothic. There's the taller person, or I guess in this case, bottle, standing on the right, and the shorter one on the left. The taller figure is holding something. It's not a pitchfork this time, it's a knife. And if you read the labels, this is my favorite part about this one. The mustard bottle says Grant's, and the ketchup bottle says Woods. So it's just like Grant Wood. How about that one? This one is really fun because we actually are going to read a story in a few minutes called If Picasso Painted a Snowman. And there's a picture a lot like this in our book. It's an American Gothic, but with snowman figures in it. So now I want to show you this. Let's see. So here are some of the things that you're going to see in our book today. These are some famous artists and some of their famous works. So when we read our story, which is all about parodies, the parodies in our book are going to look a lot like these works of art. So we have Pablo Picasso on the left and Turner on the right. We have Roy Lichtenstein on the left. It says pow. And Georgia O'Keeffe on the right. You don't have to remember their names, but I thought I'd show you the pictures just so you saw them ahead of time. The one on the left is Gustav Klimt, and the one on the right is Claude Monet. Little snow-covered haystacks is what that is. It looks like muffins, though. Then we've got Pablito Velarde and Jackson Pollock. Now, you can see the Jackson Pollock one is all just scribbles, right? It's splatters and splashes. Keep that in mind. We have Salvador Dali with his melting clocks. And we have Paul Klee with his pastel colors and blocky shapes. And Marc Chagall on the left with a circus. And Georges Seurat on the right. This is the most famous Seurat painting that you'll probably come across, but this one is actually the one that's going to be like the picture in our story today. And then we've got Piet Mondrian on the left, just big blocks of colors, and Sonia Delaunay on the right with some swirly colors into circle shapes. We've got Jacob Lawrence and Vincent van Gogh. You might recognize that one. And then we've got the original Grant Wood American Gothic. Yay! Okay, so back to class today. Here's our story. It's called If Picasso Painted a Snowman. Are you ready for this? So the first one is probably not going to be a surprise. It's Picasso. If someone asked you to paint a snowman, you would probably start with 3 white circles stacked upon each other. Stacked one upon another. And then you would add black dots for eyes, an orange triangle for a nose, and a black dotted smile. But if Pablo Picasso painted a snowman, it would look like, are you ready for this? This! What? Does it kind of remind you of the one that I showed you earlier? The painting he did of that lady? Not all artists paint the same. Can you find J.M.W. Turner's Snowman? It's lost in a blizzard. Do you see it? This one's really fun because it's kind of like a hunt and find, but there's just a little shadow of a snowman in that picture. Just like the one I showed you, but with a snowman. Blam! Roy Lichtenstein's snow hero saves the day. And this Georgia O'Keeffe snowman wouldn't bloom long in the desert. Do you think a snowman would last very long in the desert? Probably not. A patchwork quilt, soft and cozy, wraps up Gustav Klimt's snow family. There's a lot going on in this picture. But do you see the mama snowman is cuddling the babies? I guess that would make her a snow lady, wouldn't it? A snow woman? How many snowmen hide in Claude Monet's haystacks? Do you see some? A dust-colored snowman watches Pablito Velarde's ornamental birds. We saw those birds earlier in the original. Jackson Pollock painted his snowman. Splish, splash, splat. Do you see the snowman? I don't see a snowman. Do you see a snowman? That snowman got splattered. In Salvador Dali's winter fantasy, snowmen drip like melty cheese. Just like the clocks we saw in his original painting. Rickety Rack, a stick snowman drives Paul Clay's wire car. Look at that. Marc Chagall's snowman cavort in a bright circus ring. Dot upon dot upon dot. Here's a Snowman by Georges Seurat. He was famous for making paintings that were just all dots, tiny, tiny dots. Pete Mondrian's snowman is a square. Do you see a carrot anywhere there? That is not like any other snowman I've ever seen, but I can see the carrot now that they say that. Circles surround circles as Sonia Delaunay's snowman spins. Oh, that's cool. They took her swirly circles and turned him into a snowman. The rhythms of the street make Jacob Lawrence's snowman smile. See, in the original, they were just walking down the street doing everyday things, but in this one, there's snow on the ground. So they're doing snowy things. Vincent van Gogh's snowman swirls and curls in the wavy hills. See that? And if you've ever seen a picture of Vincent van Gogh, he wears that hat a lot. So they gave the snowman Vincent's hat. And Grant Wood's famous snowman Gothic will never melt away. I like that they're wearing scarves and hats and earmuffs. And instead of a pitchfork, he's holding a shovel. And they're wearing mittens. And there's snow on the roof in the background. And there's even snow falling in the sky. That's so cool. What would your snowman look like? Well, today I thought instead of just painting a snowman, we could make a snowman American Gothic. What do you think? We could make a parody, just like in our books and just like the art in the exhibition at the museum. So if you want to do 2 different pages like I'm going to do. First, I suggest drawing the house. The whole reason American Gothic has the title American Gothic is because of that pointy window in the top of the house. This is mine, but I just doodled that with my gel pens. I'll show you this one too. It's a parody, but you get the same idea because the house is the same. So that window, because it's kind of pointy on top and it's that arched shape, that is a Gothic style window. So that's why he called it American Gothic. So if you would like, you can start, ooh, there we go. You can start by drawing a house with a pointy window in the top. I put curtains in mine like the original had, but you don't have to. And your house doesn't have to look anything like the one in the original if you don't want to. You saw in some of those parodies that there wasn't even a house in the background. Some of them had space in the background. That one had a McDonald's in the background. So whatever you want to go in the background of your picture, you can do that. Now, if you're doing one page, do your snowman first and then do the background behind them. If you're doing 2 pages like I am, I did my house already, and then I'll put my snow people on a different page, and then I'll cut them out and glue them on top of the other page. Does that make sense? Okay, so you can get started making your snow people. I am very excited to see how this goes. I am going to show you again the original so you can see that. But please remember, you do not have to make yours look like the original at all. If you want it to look totally different, you can. Now, when you're doing your snow people in the front, we call it the foreground because it comes before what's in the background. When you do your snowmen, remember how big they would have to be up front. Look how big these people are in Grant's painting compared to how big the house looks in the background. You want your snow people to be pretty big. They're going to take up most of the page. If anybody wants to share what you're working on right now, go ahead and unmute yourself, or you can just hold down the space bar on your computer and show us what you're doing so far.
Miss Erin,
Yes.
there's a chocolate shop in Marion that has an American Gothic statue in front of it, and the artist painted them in different shades of brown to make them look like chocolate.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And instead of a pitchfork that they're holding a whisk.
Oh, that's so cool. I wonder if we can take pictures with it. Is it like that butterfly on the side of the building?
Yep, it's outside in front of their front door.
Nice. Oh, is that Gay Sharp's chocolate shop?
Yeah.
Yay. Oh, so that should not surprise me because Gay is an artist herself. She's
Yes.
fabulous.
And
Miss
she
Erin?
has a metal figure of a man on her front porch at her house. And every time I walk by, he scares me because he's just standing there. And I don't know how many times I've said good night to him as I was walking and then realized he wasn't real.
Oh.
So I think Gay put him out there just to make me confused.
Just to spook people, maybe?
And my mother's dogs bark at him every time.
Oh. They must think he's real too. That's kind of funny.
Yep. Miss Erin, I wonder what has become of all of the American Gothic sculptures, parody sculptures that were out. What was that, about 5 years ago? Remember?
Something like that.
Yeah, they were
several
all
of them are still around town. They sold them off, so anybody who wanted to purchase one of them got to buy one. So I know that there's one inside the Gazette building downtown.
Okay.
Not that you can go in the Gazette building anymore right now, but I believe the one in front of the Nubo City Market is still there.
Okay. I think the one at Westfield School is still there, but I haven't been to a school for quite a while, have I?
Yeah.
Everyone listening, I'm guessing if you were to Google Cedar Rapids, or let's see, American Gothic sculptures, Cedar Rapids or something, you could probably find pictures of them from, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago. Again, time escapes me. I'm not sure.
Yeah. There should be a website. I can't remember if it was through the city or if it was through somebody else. But somebody was keeping track of them. So they had locations and everything. I don't know if it's been updated since they sold them. But I did hear from the artist colony in Anamosa that they are getting their giant American Gothic sculpture back. So I don't know when it'll be there, probably this summer, but it's really huge. So you can go take your picture with them.
Yeah, if you go on Facebook, the Facebook page is called Overalls All Over.
That's it. Thank you, Miss Laura.
And actually, that's what the American Gothic is that's in front of the chocolate shop, is one of those statues.
Oh. Yeah, they asked artists all over the area to make their own parodies, but instead of paintings, in that case, it was sculptures, and they put them all over town. So Gay probably did the chocolate one for her shop. Ooh, Miss Laura is showing us. Let me see if I can. I'm trying to get a close-up of it.
Well, and of course, I'm trying to show it off my phone, which is being goofy too.
Let's see. Hold on one more second, Ms. Laura. Hopefully people can see that. Can you see Miss Laura's phone? It's really dark, Miss Laura.
It is.
It might have gone to sleep.
Once more with feeling.
There it is. Yeah, so look for the chocolate shop in Marion, Iowa, and the Overalls All Over sculptures, because they are awesome.
I have a feeling if we did a simple
Christmas time, he wears a Santa hat.
Oh, go ahead, Laura. I'm sorry.
No worries. Right around Christmas time, the man in the statue ends up wearing a Christmas hat.
Oh, okay.
Every year.
Perfect.
Okay. I was gonna say, I'm sure we could find a meme of Bernie with the American guy. Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh my gosh, somebody's got to be hard at work doing that right now. In fact, you know, now that you say that, I'm pretty sure the Museum of Art where I work, I'm pretty sure that they did one too. They posted that picture of Bernie as American Gothic. Huh.
Or just sitting between the man and the woman, maybe.
That could be too.
In there. I noticed in one of your parodies that you did show, the gentleman was wearing Bernie's mittens.
It looked like that. That one was way before the picture of Bernie came out, so maybe Bernie's wearing his mittens.
Exactly. Hey, I had a question about that book.
Yes.
So was that a singular illustrator who successfully imitated all those different artists, or was it several illustrators?
From what I understand, and if you want to get this book, they've got copies at the library because that's where I saw it for the first time. I think Miss Laura is actually the one who recommended it to me, so thank you for that. This book was from Amy and Greg Newbold. I forgot to say that earlier, and I believe that they worked on all the illustrations together, just the two of them.
Very cool. Very clever.
They did other ones too. I don't know if you can see this, but there's if Da Vinci painted a dinosaur and she looks like the Mona Lisa. That one is terribly, terribly unattractive. And then there's one called If Monet Painted a Monster. And that one is such a good book. Miss Laura liked that one too, I can tell. Yeah, it's such a good book. It's really funny and silly. And the monsters are kind of hiding in different places. It makes it kind of fun.
Those are cool.
Anybody want to share your progress on your snow people so far? Yes? Let's see. Who's at Sheena's house? Do you want to show us? Okay, go ahead and show us, and you can actually unmute yourself too.
I'm doing a different one so see, I did blue and purple striped mitten, and I decided to make a top hat with the red thing on there.
I love the top hat, just like Frosty.
On something that he's holding, and notice that the woman is a little bit taller than the man.
Oh, I like that. Like that you changed it up a little bit. Yes, go ahead. There you go.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I have something that might kind of fit for this. When Milena was not even one, we went to Chalk the Walk. And this was Milena being part of American Gothic. She fit it quite well. I think my glare is getting it. But yeah, when I saw the topic, I was like, oh, that's good. Yes,
that's perfect.
Yeah, she had quite the attitude going for it too.
I had a puzzled look on.
Yes, we did have the puzzled look. We got Daddy to dress up.
You know what though, you guys, I don't know if you know this, but that house in the background of American Gothic, that's a real house. It was painted from, Grant traveled to a place in Iowa and found that house, and he liked it so much that he thought, you know what, I'm going to put that in a work of art. So he painted it from a house that he found in Eldon, Iowa. It's kind of near Ottumwa. So if you're down in south central Iowa anytime soon, you can actually still go to see the Grant Wood American Gothic house, and they will actually let you dress up like the American Gothic couple and take your picture in front of the house. So you look like the farmer and the wife or the daughter or whoever she is supposed to be. I thought that's pretty cool. So if you have a chance, you can turn yourselves into an American Gothic parody. How fun would that be? All right. Does anybody else want to share what you're working on?
Weren't the original models for the painting his dentist?
His dentist was the farmer, and his sister was the young lady, and he was never too clear on who they were supposed to be, if they were real people that he knew or if he just made up a story to turn into a painting. But the funniest part about that is, I don't know if you know anything about Grant Wood's artwork or his personality, but he was kind of a jokester. He really had a fun sense of humor. And so the person that he chose to be this kind of grouchy looking man, this farmer in the painting, was someone who in real life, his dentist, was always smiling, was the happiest person he knew. That's the person he chose to be this grouchy looking farmer in the painting. I thought that was kind of funny. And his sister Nan is the one who posed for the lady in American Gothic. And she wore her mother's apron and that pin on her collar. All of that belonged to their mom. So she was trying to dress up like an older woman to be sort of that character in the painting. But when Grant painted her to look older than she really was, she hated it. She did not like that she looked old in the painting. She was not happy. I can't imagine anyone like that being unhappy, looking like an old person. Anybody else have artwork they want to show us in progress? We still have people working too.
I don't have to.
The kiddos already left, but we definitely have Jackson Pollock and Picasso influences.
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah.
Very colorful snow people.
We had a snow-covered white house, so you can't really see it, but it's all in white. There is a house there.
That's perfect.
Yes.
It's the proverbial snowman lost in a snowstorm, or polar bear lost in a snowstorm.
Totally island snowstorm. All these kiddos, we're actually out in Santa Barbara, California right now.
Wow, so cool for you to join us.
Yeah. So it was a little early for us. That's why I was curious how well this would work. As their
They
first
did
activity.
very well.
They gave it half hour. I'll take a win.
Well, thank you. Say thanks to the kiddos for us too.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks. How fun. Anybody else have anything you want to show us?
I guess so.
You guess so? Who was that?
I went to art class and painted Grant Wood pictures too.
You did. What did you paint? When you were in class, what did you paint? Wow.
School did a Grant Wood class last year.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then she got to color one.
Nice. Oh, wow. Yeah, I should mention, if any of you want to do a coloring sheet that looks like American Gothic, just Google it, because there are boatloads of them out there. You can download and print off a coloring sheet that looks like American Gothic and do your own version. That can also be a parody if you want.
Wow.
Now, I see somebody else trying to show us your artwork. Hang on one second.
Okay.
Miss Laura, are you showing us your artwork? Did you make that?
Yeah.
Oh, she's doing some.
I've never tried to put overalls on a snowman before, but I suspect it would be tricky.
They are shaped a little differently than regular people. So yeah, it is a trick to put overalls on a round body. Let's see, we've got some other folks trying to show us your artwork. Hey guys, what are you? Ooh, look at those.
Tell her what it is.
Super Mario Maker 2 wheel.
We went with a Super Mario theme.
Maker 2
Ah.
wheel.
It's like Mario and Luigi.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
Can you tell her about yours?
This is stars and that snow for decoration. I did this.
Ooh, that turned out fabulous.
Thank
You guys have
nailed
so
that.
much color. Wow. Mine is not very colorful. I didn't have time to color mine in yet, so I'll have to do that after our class is over. But if you want, I can show you my snow people right now. I'm cutting them out so that I can put them onto my background with the house. So let's see, I can unpin everyone. Gallery. And here we go. So here is one of my snow people. Let's see if I can pin myself so you can see it. There we go. Here's one of my snow people. She is wearing her apron and her little pin on her collar. And I tried to give her sad eyes too, because she looks a little grouchy in the painting. The Gentleman Snowman, my farmer snowman, I tried to give him a shovel. I've never drawn a shovel before, so I did what I could. But here we go. Here's my farmer snowman. I still have to give him his overalls too. So Miss Laura, if you've got some tips, I'm looking for ideas. And what I'm gonna do is take my, oh, it's very bright in here, sorry about that. Take my background and add my snow people to it. And then I'm gonna glue them on. So if anybody wants to do 2 pieces of paper, that's what it's gonna look like. Only yours will probably be a lot bigger because mine is itty bitty. Anybody else have anything you wanna show us? Oh, we have some progress over here. Let's see, you guys. Here we are. Ooh, you have green grass in your picture. So they used up all the snow to make the snow people.
It'd be silly to see snowmen in spring, so I decided to do that.
I love it. And yours has a shovel too. Fabulous.
And since I have light blue and dark blue, I made little like marks on the shovel with the dark blue.
Ooh, that's fantastic. You give it some shadows and light. That's very advanced. Good for you.
Excellent job, Miss Melina.
Do you want to show us yours too? Who is that? We can barely see you over there. There we are. Do you want to show us yours?
Hold yours up. Oh,
Oh,
now I'm nervous.
And
Oh, that's okay.
Mommy made this one.
That's okay.
It's Frozen 2, I think, or Frozen 1.
Oh,
It's supposed to be Elsa. And
okay.
Olaf.
Definitely Olaf makes sense because he's already a snowman. That's perfect.
Okay.
Now, I know that Miss Alicia sent a note to everybody saying she's got to cut out early. So thank you for joining us, Miss Alicia from the Hiawatha Public Library. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Thank you,
let's see.
everybody. You did beautiful work. Thanks. And I would love to see a complete list of all the parodies of that painting, including how it's been parodied in film and TV. I mean, everywhere. Very cool topic. Thanks, Erin. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us.
Get on the table. Yeah, there you go. Awesome. Bye-bye.
Yes, definitely. You guys will see American Gothic all over the place. It has been parodied thousands and thousands of times, if not more. This is probably the second most famous painting in the world because as soon as it was published in the newspaper when he won a contest for it at the Art Institute of Chicago, he sold it and it was showed in the newspaper that week. And the moment it hit the newspapers, everybody all over the world started parodying that painting and using it for advertisements, for posters, for all kinds of things. So it's really, really famous because people make parodies of it all the time. Now, before we say goodbye to everyone else, does anyone else want to share what you're working on? Anybody at Abby's house? Let's see. Ooh. That is coming along very nicely. Are you going to do a picture of the house in the background behind it, or are you going to cut these guys out? You're going to cut them out? Oh, that's going to be so cool. Oh, Miss Laura is saying Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street playing in American Gothic. Ah! Let's see. Miss Laura, did you have a picture of it? Did you find a picture someplace?
I did. I saved it as a file in the chat, but I can try to pull it up if you want to see it on my phone.
Okay. And if anybody else finds any pictures, you know that you can share them with the Museum of Art. You can share them with me at the museum so that we see them too. But when you're done with your works of art today, you guys, share your pictures with us on Instagram or Facebook so that we can show everybody else. There's Bert and Ernie. Oh, that's fabulous.
I love that they made Ernie dress up as the girl.
Yeah, they didn't put his hair in a bun like the original painting. They just
And
left it crazy.
Bert and Ernie look much happier than the original models.
That's true. The original painting, they did not look very happy.
No.
All right. So we are going to say goodbye for now, but you can keep working on your artwork. I'm going to finish mine up and then share your pictures with us. Share your artwork with us on the Museum of Art's Instagram or Facebook pages. Come find us and show us what you're doing. It looks so good so far. I can't wait to see the final ones. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks. See you next time.